One part of the filmmaking process that most filmmakers dread is the preview. That's the part where you take the movie that you've made and you have to show it to people for the first time, and you really don't know what they're going to think because you've been so close to it, and sometimes it's a good feeling, sometimes it's not such a good feeling. And movie history is littered by movies that we know about and movies we don't know about that have changed greatly because of the preview process. And the film we're going to talk about today is one of the more notorious examples of a movie that was brutalized after its previews, ranking, in fact, I think only with The Magnificent Ambersons as a movie that was changed substantially after the preview and which people have been trying to find the pieces of to put back together for years. It's John Huston's version of Stephen Crane's Red Badge of Courage. In the 50s, a writer named Lillian Ross wrote a series of articles in The New Yorker about the making of The Red Badge of Courage, which still stand today as just about the most incisive reporting of a movie from birth to death that we've ever seen. It was subsequently published as a book, and my commentary is going to be a sad substitute for reading this book, which is very damaging and revealing about the process of making movies for big studios in the 50s. This trailer has to take the cake for sheer, unadulterated chutzpah. If MGM was so damn proud of this picture, why did they eviscerate it? Based on the evidence presented in Lillian Ross's study, it fell victim to a power struggle between longtime studio chief L.B. Mayer and the younger, more progressive Dory Sherry, who eventually ousted him. Mayer hated the idea of making The Red Badge of Courage, a film with no romance, and he claimed no story. But Sherry backed Huston and producer Gottfried Reinhardt until a fateful series of botched previews caused him to lose faith in the project. If Magnificent Ambersons suffered from being previewed with a Mexican Spitfire comedy, so did Red Badge of Courage being previewed with Harvey. With Huston off making The African Queen, it fell to producer Reinhardt to try and save the picture in the face of mounting disillusionment on the part of all involved, all because some rowdy teenagers didn't get it. In fact, in its original form, this may well have been Huston's finest film. It was chopped down to 69 minutes and played off as a second feature. An uncredited James Whitmore speaks the redundant narration from the book, which is added to explain things to the kids who didn't get it. And Harold Rawson's deep focus photography evokes Matthew Brady throughout. This is, in fact, even in its butchered form, a really remarkable film. Although Lillian Ross depicts Huston as a bit of a phony and a dilettante, the fact that even in this cut version the movie is a classic indicates how terrific it must have been. The troubled war hero Audie Murphy, hired against the studio's wishes, is perfect as the conflicted youth, and the impeccable supporting cast is full of faces who went on to long careers, including John Durkee, who narrates the trailer, Arthur Honeycutt, William Shallert, and Robert Easton.
We'll be on them like wildcats. They won't know what hit them.
Think any of the boys will run?
There may be a few of them run, but there's them kind in every regiment, especially when they first goes under fire.
Yesterday, when things started getting hot, I was mighty scared.
We all was.
Yeah. But I lit out.
Royal Dano, as the tattered man, had a devastating death scene that Huston felt was one of the best things he ever shot. But it's gone forever, unless the Warner home video people can pull off a miracle. But all this missing footage has eluded us for many years, and probably will for many years to come. After watching this movie, I heartily recommend you read Picture, for its heartbreakingly true portrait of the so-called art of film as practiced 60 years ago, and sadly as practiced in much the same way today. Of course, as far as MGM is concerned, it's as good as Birth of a Nation, which, as you may recall, ran longer than 69 minutes.